Who's ready to learn how to pitch autosave and be a master at it? Let me tell you the evolution of energy deregulation and the pitch. It started back in 2010 when I got introduced to energy deregulation. I had no idea what I was doing. There was no support. There was no training. There was no anything. So your objective of starting a company like this is to go get customers, right? Get happy customers. So my journey began like this. My wife's here. She could back this story up because she was part of it. So we lived on a house where when I got home from work, I was the only dad in the neighborhood that would actually play with their kids out in the yard. And everyone could see us because our yard was available to the whole neighborhood. And my favorite game that started with my kids, they were young, I think they were 6, 5, and like 2, was dodgeball. And it was a simple game where the kids just had to make it from one side of the house, the front yard, to the next, about 20 yards. And whoever didn't get binged would win. The last one standing. So, of course, when I started this, it was great. My kids had a blast. But then all of a sudden, all the neighborhood kids started to come hang out and do the same thing with my kids. So all of a sudden, my dodgeball got a little bit larger. And one of the fathers who used to have one of those childs who would come home about an hour and a half after I started playing dodgeball, I was basically babysitting his kid. And I babysat basically the whole neighborhood. I was like the relief. All the parents were like, go to the Kennys. But they loved the dodgeball. And because I'm a nice father, every time I would always let the neighborhood kids win. My kids never won. I was a nice guy. And so they would come by to pick up their kids. And I figured this would be the perfect way to start my career in energy deregulation. How could they say no to becoming my customer? So the first gentleman comes in. He's right across the street from us. I said, okay. I said, hey, I started pitching it. It was out of control. I think he thought I was putting a windmill in his backyard when it was all said and done. So needless to say, he didn't sign up after he said he sure would help me and he would be my first customer. So about 2 days goes by and, same thing. He's picking his kid up and still nothing. By the third day, his kid was the first one I binged in dodgeball. You're out. I'm like, this is incredible. The guy tells me he's going to be my first customer. He never became a customer. And he never, ever did. So my point of the story is, today, you guys are going to learn about some of the people in this room in this company that have already joined our company and started selling autosave. And they're going to give you their best tips on how to actually acquire customers. And for us, it's all about learning some simple things. You'll learn some things today for the next half an hour that's going to make a big difference in how you engage with your communities. And so let's talk about, I think I have, I was supposed to go through some slides, but I don't have a remote, or do I? Because we want to make sure that everyone is aware of our autosave, that Michael touched this, thank you. Just to re-edify what's going on here, and I think this is forward like this, right? Okay. You guys did the raffle? Oh, gosh. We didn't do that, did we? Oh, boy. Did we do this already? I don't want to, back. See, I told you. I said, this is bad news. So, good news, we're not going to go, and I can actually have memorized the whole thing. We all know that Michael introduced that for the first 3 months, we have a guaranteed 5% savings on autosave. So customers don't need to know what the rate is anymore. We can just get them on board, okay? That's huge. And why is that big? Because there's third-party supply companies out there that you may know your customers are on those services. And so by switching to autosave, they'll automatically go on flow and start receiving that 5% benefit right away, okay? So you don't have to worry about canceling with that third-party supplier before you get them on. That's a huge deal. So that's good. You have your thermostats. Thank you guys for doing that. Once again, we know that while they're in that 3-month period, right, and we're trying to customize them a rate, you know that when that's over, 60% of your customers are going to get incredible value and could actually exceed that 5% and could earn us up to 20%. But you all have the ability to connect those thermostats right away in that 3-month period, so you guarantee that 5% minimum for the lifetime of that customer. That's an amazing process for all of us. So it just gets the ball rolling a lot quicker for every customer to benefit from our services. Next slide. They're so good for me. This is amazing. Let's make sure we know that the early December is when that's going to start with the smart thermostat connections, okay? And we're going to have our big National Connect Thermostat Day on the 15th. And knowing Charlie, that's going to be a wild day. It's going to be a lot of fun for all of us, but our whole goal is to get as many smart thermostats connected to our program as possible. Okay, and then we have, so step one, you're connecting your potential customers to share the new AutoSave video. Who loved that, by the way? That was an amazing video that makes it so much easier to actually talk about, where you guys don't actually have to educate. Wish I had a video with, maybe if I had a video with that kid, his kid wouldn't have been hit with so many dodgeballs, but it's okay. Customers who enroll before December 31st, obviously we know they get that 5% guaranteed for the first 3 months, so that's a promo. Take advantage of it. Get as many customers as possible. And when your smart thermostat is launching, we'll give you simple instructions. The company will do that for you, for your customers, so they just have to connect and follow the simple instructions to get connected. Awesome. Next slide. Awesome. We have, okay, now my favorite part. So you're going to get introduced to some of the best AutoSave top enrollers in our company who have gotten so many customers. I think combined, if you ask the three of them, they're 500 or 600 or 700 customers combined on AutoSave. So they absolutely know the right things to say about. So let's all welcome our top enrollers of AutoSave to join me out on the stage so we can go through some questions and help understand the best way to pitch AutoSave. Come on up, guys. We've got Albie, woo! Amy, Latasha, and Ted Moore. Woo! By the way, did you notice that they're representing different states too, right? That's amazing, right? We got our, I want to ask each one of you guys before we get started, because I actually went around for the last week and talked to the top money earners, but also all the newbies, and I said, what are you struggling, what do you need help with? So I got a bunch of questions that are going to be very important from the field, and they're going to help answer those questions. But before we do that, let's go tell you a little bit about who are you, where are you from, a little bit about what do you do outside of Think, and then we'll get started. Just a little bit before.
How you guys doing? I'm from beautiful Bordentown, New Jersey. That makes me a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Go Birds! I don't care if I'm in enemy territory. That's all good. So I actually do residential solar. I've done that for about 6 years. My buddy is a director, Wayne Dika, too. Wayne, stand up. Woo! Can't see it, but it's dark out there. But I've been doing solar for about 6 years. I've been in sales about 30 years, and I've been doing energy probably about 10. And it's been a blast.
Awesome. What?
I'm the Albinator. That's my name.
He's the Albinator.
Hi, I'm Amy Nadell. I am also from outside of Philadelphia, just on the PA side. Go Birds. And I am a jewelry rep for a living. I sell the middleman between artists and stores. I'm an entrepreneur. I have 3 beautiful children, married to my college sweetheart, and I've been in the energy industry for 15 years, and I love it.
Woo!
I'm your girl Tasha, YGT, also known as Latasha Carpenter. I have a favorite word is BAM, because I'm always being authentically me. I've been doing energy 1 year this past October with Think Energy.
Woo!
The best decision I've ever made. I'm a mother of 2, and I'm also a union vice president for CWA Local 2108, and I'm out of the state of Maryland.
What's up, Think?
Yeah!
What's up, Think? Nothing happens until somebody gets excited. What's up, Think Energy? All right, baby. Ted Moore out of Chicago, Illinois. Go Bears!
All right, that's AFC.
Listen, we've been in energy now for about 15 years. I also have an insurance business. So I'm an insurance broker and an energy broker. Super excited. This information was brought to me 15 years ago when the windmills were first, being spread across the country. Got excited about that, and then got a call almost 2 years ago about these solar panels I've been seeing in farm fields. Got super excited about that, and here we are ready to rock and roll and take this thing to the next level. Nothing happens until somebody gets what? Excited!
Okay, are we all ready? All right, so one of the biggest, to my story, the biggest thing when you first get started is when you're meeting people and you're trying to have that first conversation about AutoSave. I mean, that's where a lot of us get stuck. How do we first go about talking about autosave. So here's one of the first questions one of the field had, which was great. And we can start with Albie. How do you
Fine.
start a conversation when you're calling a contact about autosave?
In fairness for me, I'm actually a BNI member as well. So what I do is I call up somebody and say, hey, by the way, do you have about 5 to 10 minutes to talk? If they say yes, I'll say, tell you what, I'm a certified energy advisor. I think I have a way you can save some money. And then I get into the pitch of, hey, by the way, if you look at your electric bill, there's something on there called a supply charge, which makes up about 60% of your bill. We have a way that we can save you up to 10% guaranteed. And the best part is nobody else has this technology. And then if they ask more questions, I'll send them the video. But that's pretty much it. Just give them the basics. Awesome. But then I also tell them, look, no matter what happens today, your rates are going to keep going up, and we have a solution that is legendary. But sometimes you're going to have people say, oh, I did third party years ago. I saved money for a few months, and then went up. I said, well, the good news for you is this is the solution. You'll never have to worry about that. You're going to save money, and you never have to re-enroll, and you'll never pay more than the utility. So, again, it's just about simple education.
Awesome.
That's it.
Awesome.
So, good job, Al.
Yeah. Let's give it up for Albie there.
So for me, enthusiasm is contagious. So I'm very excited about what I'm doing. And I talk about that I've partnered with a tech-savvy energy company that has a proprietary technology that is called AutoSave that allows us to switch people back and forth between the utility and Think Energy or Think Plus, whatever I call it. And it guarantees that they will never pay more than the utility. So there is no contract, there is no risk, there is no fee. And a big part of this for me is focusing on that everyone wins. They win, I win, the company wins. They can support me in my business with absolutely no risk to them.
Awesome. That's a
Okay, so I didn't mention I come from the service side of network marketing, so everything is always about piquing interest and keeping people curious. So if I'm going to ask you, I'm going to say to you, hey, I have a quick question. If you could stay with the same provider, also be able to lower your electricity bill, plus be guaranteed that you'll never pay more than what you're already paying, would you want to know? Tell me, would you want to know?
Excellent, excellent. Whew. You know, whenever I first started with the AutoSave, I just basically go back to the foundation of when I first started in this industry. And I asked people to do me a huge favor. If I can offer value at no cost to you, would you just do me a favor and give our service a try? Now with the new introductions this weekend, I can add guarantee to save you money, guarantee to add value. And so basically it's just leaning on the relationship and basically asking people to do you a favor, give it a try, and we're going to basically give a gift away. That's what we're doing, folks. This is a gift to all of our contacts, and that's all we do is give it away.
awesome, Ted. Thank you. Thank you. Great answers. Now, we never had the word guarantee in our lives,
No.
everybody. So let's break that down just for a second. Imagine going your whole careers. You guys have a lot of experience in energy deregulation, some of you not. You're just getting started, which is why I love this panel. But imagine, we've never had the ability to ever say the word guarantee in anything we've ever done, because we couldn't guarantee it. Why? Because we didn't have a proprietary technology that protects that customer. So that's a huge thing, and all of you in some way or another kind of said that. And so that's a big part of your first pitch, right? Make sure that that's in there on your starting of the conversation, because it's very valid. It makes people feel a lot better about where that journey of that conversation is going to go. So nice work. Now, it's not all peaches and roses. Just because these guys got hundreds of customers doesn't mean there's probably another 100 or 200 or 300 or 400 that said no, right? Because that happens in our business. So another question someone had, which I thought was a great question, is what are some of the common objections you guys get or concerns from customers or prospects? And then what do you actually say to overcome that?
First of all, don't take it personal. People are conditioned to say, I'm not interested. That's just their go-to. Again, I'm going to keep going back to it's about education. I'm not selling anything. I'm not asking for a credit card. I'm not asking for a driver's license. I'm not asking for any of that. I'm asking for you to give me an opportunity to save you some money. Again, with AutoSave, it's 1 to 2 billing cycles, so it's not a long time for you to see the value and the savings. And again, you know, I'm not asking you to buy it. I'm asking you to try it. But the biggest one I've come across is, again, previously I had third party, It was good for 3 to 6 months, and then it went up. I said, okay, again, that was the problem. This is the solution. You'll never have to deal with it. So it's just about, and I think Amy said it too, it's about having confidence, and they can kind of feel like they can sense your body language over the phone, how you're talking. If you come from a position of strength, it's going to be pervade.
Awesome. Yay.
So I want to echo educating is really important. The biggest objection I probably get is they're nervous about things changing. And when I can educate them that nothing changes, it's also, and I'm going to probably say this in a lot of the answers I have to the questions you ask, it's a numbers game. So the more people that you talk to and present this to, the more customers and the more EAs you're going to have. That's the bottom line. So some people are going to say no. It never bothers me when someone says no to being a business partner. It does bother me a little when they say no to being a customer. So don't feel upset if you take it personally, because you shouldn't. He's right, but it is really hard. But just don't stress about it. Just move on. What I try to focus on is, no problem. Would you allow me just to get a copy of the bill to go over with you so that I can educate you about what this is? I'm telling you, last week I had 5 people that where we are, Pico right now is 10.4 cents. They were paying 15 cents or over, said they never switched, and they had been with another provider for probably 5 years or more. So ask them for the bill, because a lot of times they don't even know that they've switched and are in a variable rate.
Awesome.
Which we don't have.
Great response. And she's so on point. People don't know. I mean, most people have never had a choice, and if they did, they didn't take the choice. And so therefore, they don't understand even when they are overpaying. So getting that bill and getting a chance to see it for yourself will let you know that we have value that we can add. And that's what I always stress. We don't switch people from where they are if we're not going to add value to them. We leave them where they are. But if we can add value, and we know that we can add value because we've seen that bill, then basically it makes that conversation go so much more smoothly, because now we actually are educating them and offering them a benefit. We're offering them value in the process. So literally, the things that you run up against, if you basically understand that you're actually going to add value, you're going to add a gift to that person and save them money on something that they got to pay each and every month anyway, then bottom line is they're going to be very appreciative, and they'll stick with you.
Yeah,
I like that. I agree with everybody and all the answers that they've already said. AutoSave is empowering people where they're able to keep money in their pocket. Just keep on asking the questions, go through the no's, and understand sometimes that no just means not right now. You can follow up with that person, go back to them. Just be consistent in what you're doing so they can build that trust where they know that we have something that's a true gift to give them, not just at Christmas time.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, now, you guys are hitting all the great points, and I appreciate it so much. Now, because the company has done a ton to support us in terms of tools, what do you recommend the best tools to use from the company that they produce for us? What do you guys use, and what do you recommend everyone out here use starting tomorrow about how to get this out, how to educate folks?
When I have a conversation with somebody, there's 2 things I have ready to go. I have an email of the AutoSave video, and I also text it to them as well. And then a few days later, I'll follow up, hey, did you watch the 96-second video? I'm very specific with that. It basically just tells them, look, it doesn't take a lot of time for you to look at this for something that's going to be very beneficial. And then I also have a flyer that I had made up. So it's good to have those collateral tools as well.
Nice.
Absolutely, the video. It's terrific. It's short. It educates, and it also shows people who may want to do your business with you that you don't have to explain it. It is already there, explained for you.
I'm going to say, just remember, the tool is not you. The tool is not you. Use the videos, use the paperwork, and just remember, because sometimes we get into doing whole presentations with people. It's not about a presentation. That AutoSave video is excellent, and any other documents that you can get from Think Success to use is what you need. That tool is not you.
Yeah.
Flyer and a card. Video, flyers, and cards. Use the tools, and then a story. Put a story on people. That's it.
Yeah. I'll tell you. Who loves the video? Who's using the video? Please tell me you're all using that video, right? And today, later on, you're going to hear from Scott, who actually developed BAM, who's the president of BAM. BAM. Listen, I want more and more of you, all of us, to start using that application. It's powerful. And now that it's actually connected to our websites, it actually works really well. As a matter of fact, I used it. My brother Ed's always the guy that's my technology guy. Everyone has to have a technology person in their life, right? I don't know anything about technology, which is terrible. I should know a little bit. But we are a technology company, aren't we? Anyway, but Eddie helps me out, and I've started to really, and that's all about coaching your teams too, working with teams. You know, I'm one of the top money earners in the company. And I still need to get coached by people. We all do. But Eddie's been patient with me to show me how to set up BAM. And one of the things is, it's really exciting. You can also start a conversation with your warm network with just a simple text to kind of get a conversation started. And so I did that with my nephew, who's a great guy. I love him to death. And but he's busy. And I just texted him saying, hey, we're excited. We just launched a new service. I'd love to educate you about it. He said, sure. I said, would you do me a favor and just watch this quick video? And I went into BAM, and I sent it from BAM. And now, this is my entire career. This has never happened to me before, so this is why I'm telling you this. 10 minutes later, I get a ding from him saying, with a snapshot in my text exchange, with him saying, I've enrolled. That's never happened to me before. I've always had to follow up with people, and sometimes it takes months to follow up with people. But the fact is that technology worked like that. I set it up. He watched the video. This is the most important thing. He watched that video, and that tool did the entire sale for me. And so that's why those tools are so valuable.
The other thing, and you hopefully will learn this after hearing from him later, is that you can customize it now. There's customized pages. Like, I always send the video from BAM, but I didn't realize instead of sending it from the video section, if you send it from the customized pages, you will get dinged when they watch it. So if somebody says to you, I watched it, yes, I did, you know they didn't.
We love that. So let me ask you something, all of you. This is a question that I have, just because of following up on this. When someone doesn't get right back to you, because they haven't said no, right? But we all know that life gets in people's ways. Like, sometimes when I'm going after a customer, I'm catching them at a grocery store, and they just don't have a copy of their electric bill on them, right? So they might say, sure, I'll do it, and then a couple days goes by. So tell everybody, like, when someone says yes to you or they're engaging with you, what is the correct way to follow up? What would you recommend the best way to follow up with a customer?
I'm a pest, so I will send you a message in 5 days, and then 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks, then once a month. I'm never letting go until you either say yes or I get a restraining order. We're going to keep talking. But again, it's what I call it soft touches. I'm not calling you every day, but I'm going to say, hey, how you doing? Just checking in. They know why I'm reaching out. But again, follow-up is key. You don't want somebody else grabbing them. So.
Thank you, Alfie.
So I'm a student of the game, and one thing that I've learned over my 15 years in the industry is that you never leave one exposure without setting an appointment for the next exposure. And so I find, rather than leaving it loose and saying, I'll follow up with you next week, I make a definite time with them and say, is it okay if I follow up with you next Monday at 11? Will you be free then? And then it's on my calendar. Hopefully it's on theirs. Sometimes they still don't answer, but I find that the success rate is higher if you actually have an appointment time to follow up and talk.
Excellent point. I mean, book a meeting from a meeting. That's right on point. You know, the key is just following up. Life does happen, and until people basically tell you no, and a hard no, but bottom line is then it's just life that's getting in the way. Because bottom line, when you're adding value to someone and you basically can explain that to them so they clearly can see it, if they basically have any, intention on doing it, then bottom line, they're going to let you know that. And all you have to do is, like Jing Zhao, how you say his name? Zhao? Okay, like Zhao Zhang said, basically, okay, we stop ourselves because we put the answer that we think we're going to get on that other person. They didn't say no, then just be persistent, go back and follow up, because that no response is going to probably turn into a yes, and they normally do.
Excellent, excellent.
I just say ditto to everybody because often with me, I usually have a yes or a no when I get done the first time. So the follow-up thing definitely is something to do, but I just don't usually have to follow up. They clearly say yes or no, and no more often, but I still go for the yeses.
Yes, I love it. Your follow-up will be a lot less required with AutoSave if you use the tools, for sure. Your experience in that. I want to pick on you, Latasha, because you really have no energy experience. Your background is with Verizon for so many decades, and an awesome service with that incredible company. So you came in to think, really, not really knowing much about energy, and she's one of the top enrollers in the company with AutoSave. And so I just want to say that's an amazing thing, right?
Yeah.
So you definitely have a little bit of clout in your neighborhood because people, if you don't have to follow up with them and they're making a decision, then you are really doing it the right way. And so you told me something on the call the other day that you really do just share that video. That's all you do. Share the video, share the video, share the video. And then that follow-up is really just getting them enrolled into the business. So congratulations on an amazing success.
Thank you.
It's amazing. And by the way, I think that's maybe the reason why some people are so passionate about our company, because Think Energy, all they're doing is trying to make our jobs easier, to offer value and unlock value on a bill that we were always having to pay, right? And so when you have a company that's constantly looking to unlock savings, you can get behind it. So it's not necessarily about the product anymore. It's about helping people. And I think that's, for me, what I see is the thing that's everyone's kind of doing it. So I'll ask you this question. What are you most passionate about? When it comes time for AutoSave, what are you most passionate about?
It's a simple product. Everybody pays a bill. Rates are going up. The biggest part is when I hit partner level, you're all making me money. So there's my passion.
Love your honesty. My passion always has been and always will be serving people and helping people. And so this is a way that I can do it with not hurting them. So one of the things in the energy industry is that we had rates, right? And before AutoSave, and we had to renew people after a certain amount of time. And there is a possibility during that time that the utility would go down, and then inadvertently we might be costing the customer more. Or if we can't get in touch with them when it's time to renew, they fall into variable. All of those things are eliminated here. We don't have to worry about that anymore. So I truly know I'm serving somebody, helping somebody. And for me, if you're a big customer gatherer, it is really difficult to maintain all of them. It becomes a full-time job. No longer. It's like a barrier to entry for somebody being a customer or a business partner is gone with this company.
Woo! Yeah.
So passion for me also comes from helping people. For Think, it has been refreshing for me, again, coming from the service industry. It's just been different because you can actually elevate yourself in this company without necessarily focusing on building a team. However, my thinking is changing because I always go with that. You have to exercise every part of the company. So when it comes to services, you don't want to just sell the product, but you want to get other people to sell the product along with you. So this is about getting the word out to more and more people that they don't know about. I mean, so often we ask them, have you heard anything about AutoSave? They have no clue. Have they even heard about Think Energy or any other our great products that we have? They have no clue. So to get out there, I can't be the only one educating people. I'm not Moses of Think. You know, all of us have a role on the ark, and we just got to get this word out so that we can help people.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, passion is something that we have to have internal. We have to be passionate about what we do and what we focus on and the messages that we share. And, helping people should always be our ultimate cause. It should be what we are about as a collective. My passion for this business is basically more internal, but it basically spreads external because of the information and the opportunity of what we have to share. But you have to have a burning desire for something that you want in order for you to basically go after it. And I love this industry. I was introduced to it 25 years ago, and it happened to be in a service, and it happened to be with a vision of how would you like to get paid on a bill that you're going to have to pay each and every month anyway? That one video I saw that basically shared that concept set my passion about basically my own time freedom in motion 25 years ago, and it never has died. No matter what company I was with, no matter what I was pursuing at the time, it was basically that burning desire. We always position ourselves with things that we could basically help other people in some kind of a way. But there's one thing about energy that is different than everything else that I've ever done, and probably different than everything else that you've ever done. There's nobody's business that works in the dark.
I love it. I love it. Wow.
Can you repeat that for me?
There's no one's business that works in the dark. Without the lights on, it's over.
Oh, yeah.
There's no conversation. You ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
Right? So we can help everyone. And if somebody doesn't get it, talk to the neighbor to the left, to the right, to the front, to the back, because somebody's going to see what you see.
Oh,
Preach that.
I love it. I love it. Listen, you know, the common theme is we're all passionate about helping people. And, you know, one of the things for me, my passion with this business and the reason why I go around the country to try to meet as many of you, because I want to hear your stories, because your stories are what make the difference. And, you know, as our presenter said earlier today, it is all about your story and creating your own story. But I love telling other people's stories. If you notice, if you ever get to know me, it's never going to be about me. It's always going to be about the people I meet and about what they're doing. And I'll tell you now, this gentleman right here, Albie, comes to one of my first meetings that we did in Lakewood. And it was a meeting that, you know, I always say when you go to your first meeting, if you bring a prospect, just always tell them to remember the date, right? It's so important because that's the date that your story could start. And you always want to refer back to the day that you saw something that was special. So I always wanted to make sure that I knew that. But Albie came to that meeting. And, you know, in this business, you just don't know. You know, if you're doing a meeting for 5 people or 10 people or 100 people, you know, I always say if one person in that room got the message of what this company was about, then it was worth me traveling 350 miles to get there to tell that story of the vision of this company. And Albie was one of them. He sat there with his eyes wide open, and he was excited. He was in the room, and he caught the vision of that meeting. And in just like 4, 5, 6 months, you built a team that's almost close to 2,000 customers already. And that's amazing, and you've done an incredible job.
I have to really give credit to my team. You know, one of them, again, Wayne Decatur is my friend, my buddy. James, Daryl, Miriam, they just went out there and crushed it. So they made me look better than I did. But again, I let them know you guys are phenomenal. You're wonderful. Keep going.
Listen, they're
Daryl,
following
go
your
past
lead.
me. Go ahead, man.
They follow your lead because you got to start it.
You got to lead by example, and you got to be plugged in.
Yeah.
You got to go to the Zooms. You got to go to the meetings. You got to be here if you want to be on this stage.
I think that we talked a lot about helping people as customers, and that's, I know what the panel's about, but you can't neglect helping somebody, to your point, about where they are in their life. When I started in this business, my dad was sick. I needed a way to make money to help support him, and I have a very full-time business. I didn't know what I was going to do. And when I decided to say yes to this, I ran hard. And again, it is all about your team, and it's so much better doing it with a team. But it supported my dad for the last 2.5 years of his life to live literally in my backyard in an assisted living facility so I could see him every single day. And, you know, and then in COVID, jewelry stores were not open, and my husband lost his job after 26 years, but people still pay their energy bill. And so, you know, to Ted's point, nothing happens in the dark. No one takes a cold shower. So it's recession-proof, AI-proof, and you just don't know anyone's situation out there that you're talking to, what it's going to do for them.
Definitely, definitely. By the way, full transparency, she came in kicking and screaming to this opportunity. It was not the easiest recruit. As a matter of fact, we were on a Zoom, and I got off that Zoom, and I called up Kirk and Big John. I'm like, wow, I go, that was something. I said, I don't know if we want to follow up with this one. Because she had brought all the negativity that she had been experiencing over the last several years with that third-party energy company. I'm not going to give names. But all the reasons why we love AutoSave. And it was one of those things where in the beginning, she didn't want to hear it. But if you're a good mentor and you're a good sponsor, you're not going to let that go. And Kirk Horan did an amazing job of following up and making sure that she got the answers to all the questions. And then to come to a meeting that she hosts in Fort Washington only a couple weeks later, leading the room, throwing candy all over the place, people screaming. And who's part of her team, by the way? You know what I'm talking about. And then she said, I can't believe that I'm doing this again, but I'm doing it with passion. And it's fun again. And that's the difference between Think Energy and everyone else. So congratulations.
Well, I do owe that to Kirk. He's the best.
Absolutely.
The best.
Absolutely. Now, what do you say, guys? This is amazing. By the way, Ted's my golf partner, so he's been in from the beginning. So we love getting to know each other on the trips, and that's another thing that's so amazing. Autosave is it's all about. Listen, these are the top enrollers for Autosave, right? They got hundreds of customers, right? But in this compensation plan, you only need really 24 customers to maximize the top rank of the company. So no one's asking anyone in this room to go out and get hundreds of customers. Now, I will tell you that it gets easier with every customer, and so that's why they don't stop, because it gets easier. Compensation plan will pay you. It's residual for life, because obviously that customer's on Autosave. They're not leaving, so it's got incredible value. But at the end of the day, if you just educate a handful of customers and just keep teaching that, and that passion goes from one person to the next, you will achieve numbers that are beyond your wildest dreams, and it's amazing. So Autosave is going to be the driver. And if you're from Texas, obviously you don't have Autosave. But guess what? The people that we just found out and met, and when they build these teams, they're going to put millions of customers on Autosave. And guess what, from Texas, when you hit the rank of partner, do you get to share in all that? You sure do. From day one, you get to share in the revenue of all those millions of customers that will sign up for Autosave. And I don't feel bad for you, because you get the battery first. And you're going to crush that service. And I can't wait to watch you guys dominate in that industry. Now, let's get back to this. So we'll finish up very quickly by, everyone wants to know, give me your quick 30-second pitch. If you met me for the first time, what is your 30-second pitch to get me interested in this?
I don't have a good pitch. I just wing it. So I just say, hey, Brendan, how you doing? Did you look at your bill last month? What do you think? I just try to get them engaged and say, bottom line is, I know I can save you money. Let me shoot you this video. Let's get this thing going. It's all about confidence.
I don't talk about me. I talk about them, and I ask questions. Questions are your best friend. Ask people about them. Find out how this will serve them, either saving them money, making them money. And believe me, I didn't set out to go get as many customers as I have. Like I said, it's a numbers game. So because I speak to so many people and I'm excited about what I'm doing, enthusiasm is contagious, they will either want to join me in the business also, or they will be my customer by default. So you do end up getting customers by default if you keep talking to people.
Okay, so I guess I just have to explain what Autosave is. Autosave is a free energy club that helps people stay with the same utility, get the same service. If Think Energy could beat their price, you save. If we can't, you stay the same. There's no switching, there's no fees, there's no contracts. It's just simple peace of mind knowing that you'll never pay more than what you're already paying with Think Energy.
Woo!
If I'm sharing something, they're looking for a prospect, I'm looking for an opportunity to get a partner before I'm looking for a customer. So it goes back to what I shared earlier. How would you like to earn money on a bill you have to pay each and every month anyway? And so basically, I always lead with my opportunity. Most of my Autosave customers and customers in general always have come from the people who weren't interested in making money with me. And then I basically flip it over and ask for the huge favor. Most friends don't want to tell a friend no twice. So bottom line, if they tell you no to the opportunity, 9 out of 10 times they'll go ahead and be your customer. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Hey, now I will say this too, because we've been doing this my family and I have been doing this forever. This is off script, but this is important for everyone, you guys to know. Autosave becomes probably one of the greatest fundraising services I've ever seen in my entire life. And so if you are out there trying to help organizations raise money, I will tell you that, in the energy industry, by the way, when you would pitch energy deregulation to a nonprofit, a church, or anyone that was trying to raise money, there would always be a point in that conversation where it would always be like a deal killer, and that was because they were so afraid of their customer getting hurt and them coming back to that organization and putting the blame on the organization. And so when Autosave hit, and we're 4 months in, but I can tell you that I've done a lot of nonprofit presentations over the last couple weeks, and the outcome is totally different from where it was and to where it is now. Your nonprofits look at this and they say, wait a second, I can raise money and nobody gets hurt because of AutoSave. What is there? It's a guarantee to protect them that they won't pay more than the utility service. And so they're getting behind it. And then that's where we're going to make a massive difference, because when we can help our local communities, it just gets easier to tell the story. Like I said, it's all about telling stories. But when you can start telling a story like Catherine Redden did it in Pennsylvania, where she raised money for her nonprofit, and she stood up in front of the room in tears because it made such a difference and impact in her organization, you can get behind that. And when that starts to really get out into the marketplace, that's when you get customers faster than you'll ever know. But it's up to us to make that story, to build that story, to create that story. So guys, I want to say thank you all. Let's give it up for these guys for giving us incredible value today about AutoSave. I want to thank you all very much, guys. This is amazing.